Hello, we are back, and time to see what Luna has to say, because I assume we're gonna go find her.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet point.
9. Since Luna didn't vote, she got set to ally automatically, and the other 6 got penalized. Yep. Then again, 5 of them are already dead. We don't know where Quark is, but his bracelet's already off.
Yeah. That means all those penalties are meaningless. Why did Luna show up then? I mean, we've got our 9 BP now, but... Alright. What do you want to do, Sigma? Do you want to leave?
Well, let's find Luna. What? You're kidding, right? Weren't you the one who kept going on about how Quark's still alive? I can't just run off and leave him here.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, that's a relief. I was hoping you'd say that. Now let's get moving. We need to find Quark.
Okay. And Luna too,
Luna.
right?
The Ambidex Games have closed. Round 4.
I mean-
Keys.
They have her bracelet with them, so it's not like she can leave or anything. Vi and I checked our bracelets out of sheer reflex. I was a magenta pair, just like before, but Fi had changed to a red solo. It didn't really matter, though. Both of our bracelets showed the number 9. All we had to do was open the number 9 door, and we'd never have to play another AB game again.
Alright. Quark comes first. Let's go.
She spun around and headed for the cyan door. I followed on her heels. Uh-huh. No one anywhere. I get it. Oh yeah, this room. I forgot about this room. Right. I think Kay might still be alive, though. Like, I'm not sure.
Sigma, there's something I want to ask you.
Uh-huh. What is it?
There are 3 doors here. You, Alice, and Luna went through the one on the right. That took you to the Golem Bay, correct?
Yeah. Okay. According to the map, that's the door on the bottom. There's a lever on that thing in the middle, right? We pulled it, but it only opened one of the doors. What about it?
Take a look. See the lock?
Open.
Yeah.
Then who the hell opened it and how?
There's only one person who could have opened it.
Luna.
Alright, let's head in.
Okay. What the heck are these things? Oh yeah, I guess we haven't been in here yet.
I think they're treatment pods of some sort.
Oh, is Quark gonna be in one of the treatment pods? Whatman pod? What do you, what? There's literally, okay, never mind. Even as I spoke, part of me knew what they were. I didn't know how or why, but I felt a strong sense of deja vu when I looked at them, and suddenly realized I knew exactly how to operate the pods. It was a strange, unsettling feeling, as if somewhere deep inside was a version of myself that I didn't actually know.
One of them is lit up.
It's because Quark is in there. The one on the left? Is it being used?
Glass is all fogged up. I can't really see inside.
Oh, is Quark frozen? Let's crack it open then. Yep. Quark? What? Where are you running to? What? Our feet pounded across the floor of the warehouse. Oh, they're going to leave. I see. I was like, what? I thought they were running towards Quark. I was like, aren't you right next to him?
This is it.
Quark's body bounced in my arms as I ran. His pulse and breathing were normal. He was limp and unconscious, but he was alive. The pod's display had given us a little information on his condition. As far as we could tell, he'd been given an anesthetic, which had put him to sleep.
Ready?
Is Luna gonna show up before they leave?
What's wrong? You're supposed to say, yeah, sure.
Is it really okay for us to just leave?
What the hell is this? You want to stay here? What if Luna kills you too?
What?
Think about it. Alice, Clover, Tenmyouji, the old woman, even Dio and Kay. There's a good chance Luna killed all of them.
But why?
Why doesn't matter. Remember what we saw on Clover's thigh?
Yes, but why would she write that? That still doesn't make any sense to me. 016, but why would she write that?
And what's that the same number as?
But why would she write? Okay. The last 3 digits of Luna's product ID.
Where did we find the old woman's corpse?
In the AB room that Luna came out of.
And if you're right, her brain is in the central computer core. That means she could have easily moved that crane, right?
I mean, that is true.
She could have used it anytime she wanted.
That means any alibi she might have for not being able to move the crane is worthless.
Exactly. She must have moved the AB room. Alice noticed it right away. At the very least, that would mean Luna had a reason to try and kill Alice.
To keep her quiet.
She could also have murdered Dio and Kay. Remember their star keys? Luna must have taken them, which puts her in the room with Dio and Kay. You understand, don't you? I admit none of this evidence is conclusive, but look at our options. You, me, Quark, and Luna. Who do you think is the most likely to be the murderer? Think this through, Sigma. Luna's a golem. That means she's a robot that's part of this facility, designed to do God knows what. If what you said about golems and the central computer is true, she's basically a puppet of Zero Junior's. There isn't really much of an argument to be made here. The only option is to leave her here and get out.
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
A robot may not injure a human being or, through an action, allow a human being to come to harm.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic.
Okay. You're right. Let's get out of here.
Don't scare me like that. Okay, I'm going to open it. You ready?
You don't have to ask me. Isn't that what you always say?
Yeah, I guess so. It's time we got out of here. Let's go.
With a heavy, labored groan, the number 9 door began to open. As soon as the gap was wide enough to admit her body, Fi slipped through it. I followed her through, Quark still cradled in my arms. Inside was a massive lift platform, like the kind used to move industrial cargo. Fi turned to face me, and I shoved Quark into her arms. Oh, are we staying?
Huh?
Before she could respond, I spun around and ran. Nice.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain.
Yep.
Sigma! What the hell are you thinking? Get back here!
Sorry, Fi. There's something I have to do. Take care of Quark.
No! You don't mean you're going to go find Luna? God damn it, Sigma! Think about what you're doing!
I am.
Sigma! Listen to me! You can't do this!
It's fine. This isn't the canon timeline anyway. I guess all of this is the canon timeline since it all, like, reflects on getting to the actual ending, but...
The number 9 door has closed. This ends. Thank you. As the gate escape, please.
Yep. Alright, I had no regrets. In fact, with Fi and Quark's successful escape, I felt a profound sense of relief. One of my objectives had been achieved, and a difficult choice had been made. My mind felt clear and focused, more so than it had in a long time. Alright, time to go. Luna's waiting. Yeah, I kind of thought she would be in here. Luna? I knew you'd be here.
You knew?
Yeah. Oh, right. We haven't talked here in this one, huh?
Isn't this nice? This is the only place in this whole facility with anything green. I kind of feel silly saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors. I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation. Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy. I'm not sure what you meant just now, but are you talking about something that happened in another history?
Yeah. What?
I know what you can do. Someone told me about it once. They said that you have the ability to transport your consciousness through time.
Who told you that? This bird. Wait, are you gonna say that? Luna looked down at the music box around her neck. Carefully and delicately, she twisted the dial on the bottom. I still love that necklace, and I love that it's a little music box.
Sigma, aren't you here to ask me something? Why I killed them, perhaps?
Well, actually, I already know you didn't do it.
Oh? Why do you think I didn't do it? I'd like to know your reasoning.
Alright. I nodded and took a moment to compose my thoughts. Might as well start with the old woman. I'm pretty sure that was Dio, because he took her bracelet, right? There's no point beating around the bush, I suppose. Dio killed her. Okay, yes, I knew that one.
Why do you think so?
Her left arm had blood splatter all the way up to the elbow, except for a stripe on the wrist that was perfectly clean. What could have caused that? My guess is a bracelet. It got covered with blood and kept her wrist clean. Obviously, none of our bracelets had blood splatter on them, but Dio's bracelet reacted to the luminol. That meant Dio's bracelet had to have come from the old woman.
Is that your proof?
Yeah.
That's why you think Dio killed her?
No, that's only enough to suspect him. After all, he could have just taken the bracelet after someone else killed her.
Then why are you so sure?
Because he confessed. After his bracelet reacted to the luminol, I confronted him.
Alright, fine. You caught me, I did it. I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Wait, when did that happen?
In a different timeline.
Isn't that against the rules?
What are you talking about? What rules? I hope you're not going to try and bring up Nox's 10 Commandments. What? Does it really matter if it's against the rules or fair? The truth is the truth. Let's say that Incident P... Why the letter P? Let's say the Incident P happens, and after that, the timeline splits into Timeline A and Timeline B. I don't think it's unfair to base a theory in Timeline A on information I found in Timeline B. After all, A and B both came from the same place, P. If you trace the history of both timelines, you'd end up back at Incident P. Now, if I could change what happened with Incident P by visiting Timeline A or B, then yes, it'd be a different story. I don't know that it'd be unfair per se, but I'd certainly be breaking some pretty big rules. Like, you know, the principle of causality. I'm sure that Dio killed the old woman. By extension, that means you couldn't have killed her. I'm assuming Dio wasn't originally intended to be part of the Nonary game. Somehow he got in and took the old woman's place. That's how he ended up as Quark's partner. This is just an educated guess, but I have a feeling his plan was to replace one of us. I doubt it mattered which one. I have no idea why he would want to do something like that, and I don't know how he did it either. But the fact remains that he did. He hid in the warehouse on floor A and waited for someone to come out of the AB rooms. That someone turned out to be the old woman. She left Quark asleep in the AB room and came out on her own. Somehow he managed to get close enough to stab her. He did it near the wall with the graffiti on it. I'm guessing he stabbed her from behind so that he wouldn't get any blood on himself. What? Oh, wait, what? Oh, like wrapped his arm around her and stabbed the front of her? Because I was like, if he stabbed her from behind in the back, it would still come out. As soon as she was dead, he wrapped the knife up in the handkerchief. No, wait, actually, he probably took the bracelet first. Then he would have needed to wipe the blood off, so he used the handkerchief for that too. Anyway, the point is, he got the bracelet and put it on. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the rightmost AB room and its neighbor. He probably didn't expect that they'd move, or he would have put it somewhere else. After that, he headed back into the AB room that the woman had left. Quark would have still been fast asleep, so as far as he knew, Dio was there the whole time. This does raise a few other questions, but I'll save those for later. For now, let's move on to the other murders. Well, actually, one of them probably isn't a murder.
What do you mean?
Is that Alice? Talking about Alice, yeah. She had the The Radical Six, I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure she committed suicide.
All of humanity is going to die. Adults, children, everyone, there won't be.
Yeah. She'd been infected with Radical Six. I think that infection caused her to take her own life. She used Dio's knife, which she'd found in the warehouse after the AB room moved, and exposed it. She took it with her and then used it to stab herself in the crew quarters. Next are Clover and Tenmyouji. The first question is, who put the handcuffs on them? The clue is the message Clover left, 016. So my initial thought of her writing that was she just wrote Dio weirdly. Because, like, there's no reason for her to write 016 to reference Luna. If you think about it, though, it doesn't make sense. Clover's left hand was in the handcuffs. Okay. This means she would have had to write with her right hand on her right thigh. Yeah. I feel like it would have been really hard to do that, you know? Why not just use your left thigh? True, so you're saying she didn't write it? The thing is, I think she did. Okay, I see. When she died, her legs slumped together and the message got transferred to the right thigh. We just never saw the original because we didn't bother to check the other leg. In other words, she wasn't trying to write 016. She was trying to write Dio, like I had suspected at the beginning. Okay, I'm glad that that's the case, because it would have made zero sense for her to have written 016. With her dying breath, she was trying to tell us the name of her killer. Uh-huh. Now, about Kay and Dio. I'm assuming my initial theory, I don't know if I got all these right, but I think that Kay is the one who killed Dio, was my initial theory. So let's see if that was right. I think there's a pretty good chance Dio killed Kay. Is there? Here's how I imagine it happened. But then who killed Dio? Unless it was Luna who killed Dio, in which case, okay. Kay probably sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol, right? Yes, we did see that happen. We found the bottle in Kay's robe. He wouldn't have seen the reaction immediately, but Dio would have known that was coming. What was coming? As soon as Kay turned the lights off, it would be clear that Dio had taken the old woman's bracelet. My guess is he decided to take preemptive action. When we found their bodies, the lights in the rec room were on. Maybe Kay turned to switch the light off, and Dio took that opportunity to attack it. Kay was hurt pretty badly, but he didn't die right away. He probably managed to grab the spear and stab Dio. Then he died. So that accounts for all 6 bodies. None of them were your fault. Okay, if that is the case, then I still gotta write that Kay killed Dio. It's just different than what I was thinking. I thought that Kay left his suit.
I'm glad you don't think I did it, but all of your theories are just, well, theories.
Except some of them are confirmed, aren't they?
Like Alice committing suicide. How can you be sure? Say she was infected with Radical 6. She could have been murdered before her symptoms even began to present themselves. As for Clover and Tenmyouji, I could easily have killed them. You don't have any proof that Clover's message was mirrored like you say, or even that it was supposed to refer to Dio.
Except there's no reason to believe that it was supposed to refer to you, because that doesn't make sense.
Even if it did, that's not conclusive evidence of his guilt. The same goes for Kay and Dio. I could have killed them both. Why do you trust me so much? I'm a machine. I'm part of this place. How can you trust a machine?
That's why I trust you. I trust you because you're a robot. Your robotness is just one more reason you can't be the killer. Well, 3 more reasons.
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
Yes, we know this one. Rule 1, a robot may not injure a human being or through an action allow a human being to come to harm.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Sigma.
Luna, I have to ask you. Can you tell me, well, everything you know? Your mind is in the central server. You should know everything that's happened here. There was a long pause. Luna stood and walked deeper into the garden. Are you gonna go sit on the bench again? I followed her in silence. Of course. It's the one place to sit. Eventually, we reached the bench. Luna quietly sat down, and just like last time, I lowered myself down beside her.
You were right. I didn't kill them. How should I explain? Well, actually, you got most of it right.
That doesn't matter. Tell me everything.
Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used the large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A through the number 9 door. Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it.
That doesn't really sound like sneaking. It sounds more like he just walked in.
Yes, I guess you could say that.
Not a lot of security, okay.
He did get in pretty easily, but that's because Zero Jr. lured him here.
Okay. What do you mean?
Dio wasn't a surprise. Both Zeros knew that he was going to come.
So they brought him here?
In a way.
But why?
Because his presence was an important part of Zero's project.
What project?
I can't go into that right now. We'd be here forever. Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in.
So why did he come
to
here?
make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right. The old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti. He put her bracelet on after he wiped the blood off it with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms.
5th and 6th?
Counting from the left in their original placement.
In other words, the rightmost room would be the 6th room, and then blah 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 blah.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes.
After that, he went back into the 5th AB room where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up.
What were you doing while that was happening?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything. My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room. I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered. Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr. I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either.
Oh wait, if Zero Jr. controls everything, then he was the one who moved the 6th room with the crane?
Yes, that's right. Zero Jr. moved the room, not me.
Then who moved the old woman?
Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my AB room once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in.
Why did you do that?
Because I was ordered to.
What? Wouldn't Dio be pretty surprised to see that the old woman was
Luna,
gone?
listen to me very carefully. As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours. This will be the culmination of many years of hard work. We cannot afford failure.
Yes, I understand.
Then let's make sure. What is your mission?
Enter the Nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players. Ensure that they do what they are supposed to and guide them down the correct paths.
How many players will there be?
Myself and 7 others, ma'am. Will you be participating as well?
Yes. Our plan dictates that I must.
Okay.
An individual by the name of Dio will be entering this facility presently. He has been led to believe he is doing so undetected. You've been briefed on him already, correct?
Yes. He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place. If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, ma'am.
Is there a problem?
With all due respect, ma'am, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed, and we're just going to let it happen? I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure? Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease.
That is none of your concern. Your only concern is to follow your orders.
But...
Luna, I am giving you an order. I am in command, and you do as I say. You are programmed to do as I say. You know this.
yes.
Good. Now, I have one final order.
Another order, ma'am?
Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them.
Where?
To the room you are about to enter. The 6th AB room.
I'm just really interested in how, like, what this was for. Like, what this is supposed to do. Because I don't understand yet why they would be doing all this.
But... why?
Not your concern. As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you are unable to access any classified data. There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible. There are some things you already know, which ideally you would not. Unfortunately, this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from divulging anything you know about the project to the other participants.
If she's a robot, would there not be a way for them to, like, get rid of information that they don't want her to know?
You must never tell anyone what you know about Dio, or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room. You will have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants.
Is that an order?
Yes. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Okay.
After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated. But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake. So I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility.
Okay, I was like, how is she seeing everything? I forgot that there was security cameras. And you saw the old woman being murdered.
Yes. It was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processes nearly failed. To think that she would be the first person to come out. I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her.
Well, yeah, because if she didn't want to die, she would have just waited and not left.
When she'd said she had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant. Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died, whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two.
I think I understand. Everything you did because you'd been ordered
Yes.
to. And it was the old woman who gave you those orders? Then is she Zero Senior?
No,
What? But if she gave you the orders...
she did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
There was someone else?
Yes.
And that person is Zero Senior?
Yes. They worked together to develop the project she mentioned. So I suppose, technically, my orders came from both of them. And they were both controlling Zero Junior, too. I told you before that Zero Junior moved the 6th AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me.
But why?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me.
If they didn't want people to suspect you, then why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually we'd figure out that the rooms had been moved and that she was in your
Then
room.
Maybe they wanted the opposite.
You mean...
Maybe they wanted you to suspect me.
That doesn't make sense either. If they wanted people to suspect you, why move the room?
You're right. Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me.
You mean like Alice?
Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room.
So they somehow knew Dio would hide the knife there?
Yes, I think so.
I mean, I don't think he had many options for hiding the knife anywhere. This place is very open. But how could they know that?
Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room was moved, which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life. Clover didn't realize that, though. Or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0 hours, 0 minutes.
Wait. You were listening to us in the security office?
Yes. That wasn't all I was listening to, though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed.
You were watching through the security cameras?
Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I know you killed Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up! I'm only gonna give you one chance.
Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. No.
You lie or try to play dumb or something. I'll kill you right in front of her!
I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice, that she'd been infected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman, and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it, but I couldn't answer any of her questions.
Because of your orders?
Yes. Then, at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience. She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun. I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course, while we were fighting over it.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I don't remember who I chose. Because I was given an option to be like, who murdered Luna? Was it Clover, Dio, or Kay? I don't remember who I chose. But it doesn't surprise me that it was Clover. Whoa, hold on a minute. The trigger got pulled in the fight. I get that part. What I don't understand is why it did anything to you.
You mean because I'm a golem?
Yeah.
One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players. A human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die.
That's why you, died? To keep up the facade that you were human?
No. I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again. He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders, too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off.
Okay.
Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me.
I don't know about that one.
She only took the injection gun to try and threaten me.
How can you be sure?
When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that?
You can still mean to kill someone and then instantly regret it.
After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED.
You mean the defibrillator?
Yes.
That uses an electric shock to restart the heart, right?
Correct.
So that was why she left?
Yes.
At 0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds, Clover left the cabin in the crew quarters.
She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio.
Dio?
Yes. I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk. She just ran past.
And he just watched her go by?
Yes. I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing, but he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do.
Take the knife. At 0 hours, 12 minutes, Dio enters the room.
He seemed pretty surprised to find my body.
Yeah, I
It
bet.
didn't take him long to get over it, though.
Wouldn't imagine it would. What did he do then?
He'd gone there for 2 reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo.
Right. Without it, Dio and Kay, the yellow pair, wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door. Right?
Yeah, but he couldn't find it.
Of course. Vi had already taken it by then.
Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do, too. He was there to take the knife.
The knife.
Removing it was gruesome.
But why did he want the knife? Was it because he'd used it to kill the old
No,
woman?
I don't think so.
I think he just wanted it. Then what do you think?
I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade.
Mm-hmm. That's
why
right.
he hid it so well after he killed the old woman.
Why wouldn't he want anyone to see that? Because it says the name of his, like, organization or whatever.
Do you remember what it said?
Myrmidons.
There was a word engraved on the blade.
Yeah. Myrmidons?
Yes.
What is Myrmidon? What do you mean, Sigma? What does Myrmidons
It's
mean?
the name of the organization he belongs to.
What is it? Like a club or
I
something?
don't think so.
Well, what is it then?
I don't really know.
Wait, does getting to this specific, like, area here not rely on going to a timeline that talks about
I'm
that?
afraid not.
Interesting. Wait, wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing?
Yes.
Then, wouldn't that mean that he's on our side?
I don't know about that. He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side.
You've got a point. Damn it, this is ridiculous. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh? What? I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh? It's weird. Weird sentence.
May I continue?
No. Yes. Yeah, keep going. Why is some of this voiced and some of it not? Is this supposed to be... I assume this is Luna.
After he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had.
What? Okay, maybe it's not. Luna said he didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. Why isn't she... Okay. He was probably just checking to see if she had anything useful. That was where he found the key to Kay's suit. He didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it. At least as far as Luna could tell. At 0 hours, 13 minutes, Dio left the room. Right, I forgot that he'd had that.
He heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out. When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her.
Hey, wait. Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna?
Hold on. This is weird. Clover literally dashed from the room to come here to grab a thing and run back. But somehow Dio managed to go in that room and come back here and catch her in here. Shouldn't she have, like, already been on her way back?
And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you?
When Clover tried to push past Dio, Luna said they began to fight. I don't understand why they're writing it like this.
What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Dio pulled the knife out of his pocket and pointed it at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up, right, Tenmyouji?
Dio, what the hell are you doing?
None of your goddamn business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch!
He called us the exact same, like, thing. It's weird. He let out a yell and leapt toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with the knife. Tenmyouji caught Dio's hand with a grunt, and for a moment the two men struggled. Then, as the knife edged closer, he wrapped his other hand around the blade and tried to force it away. But Dio was a much younger and stronger man, and the wound Tenmyouji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favors. He put up a valiant fight, but with a roar, Dio threw him off, and Tenmyouji collapsed to the floor. And Clover's just watching this, not running away.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, why are you still here?
Let's see. How about this?
She literally just stood there watching the whole thing and didn't. Okay.
How cute. You two really look great together, you know?
What are you going to do to us?
Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you gonna beat us to death or something?
Ugh, no. Nothing so tasteless.
What are you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
A bet?
You've got, 20-some minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close. Give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, you might live. But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream. Well, I'm off to the Floor B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
Uh-huh.
25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come, apart from Dio.
You mean me, Phi, and Kay, right?
Yes. You were in the crew quarters at this point.
Yeah. Kay had told us about you. We'd also noticed that the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. If only we'd known what was happening in the infirmary.
Unfortunately for Clover and Tenmyouji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil.
The anesthetic, right?
Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy. I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message. Just as you said, she wrote on her left thigh with her right hand.
I don't know why she would choose her thigh. I might have, like, written it on my stomach. Seems less likely to get smudged. And the word she wrote was Dio. But I guess, like, thinking
Yes.
fast, right? Okay.
As for what happened in the rec room, well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened.
So Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol, and then while his back was turned, Dio attacked him with the axe. Dio mortally wounded him, but didn't kill him, so Kay turned around and stabbed Dio with the spear. And I guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
When did Kay get the luminol?
After they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to floor A to look for everyone else.
She didn't actually she didn't actually explain what Kay, if Kay actually was trying to resuscitate her for that, like, really long period of time when he was in the crew quarters. Is that on purpose, or they're just, like, assuming we'll believe that now?
They went to the crew quarters first, then to the infirmary. Of course, they found Clover and Tenmyouji's bodies there. Theo expected to find them, of course, but he pretended to be shocked. Anyway, Kay checked them over for anything useful.
And that was when he found the luminol.
Right.
Okay. Alright. Solving all these murders.
That's
okay.
everything that happened.
Except it's not. Can you, like, confirm that Kay was actually trying to resuscitate you? And why he was taking so long?
Do you have any questions?
Well, what do you think? What? Well, the first thing is Quark's bracelet. Why was it in the infirmary?
Tenmyouji had it. Then when Dio attacked him, it fell out of his pocket.
But why did Tenmyouji have Quark's bracelet?
I told him where it was.
When?
Do you remember when you were in the rec room with Phi and Tenmyouji?
Uh-huh. Yeah, when he sprayed us with the luminol, right? Sure, I remember that.
Right after then. When he left the rec room, he went toward the green door to look for Quark. I ran into him at the end of the hallway, where the 3 doors and the switch are. That was when I told him. Look, Tenmyouji. The center door is unlocked. He took off through it without another word.
Okay, I thought she was saying, like, if you go through this door, you'll find Quark's bracelet. That was the treatment room, right?
Yes.
Where Quark was
Right.
sleeping?
It only took him a moment. As soon as he saw Quark, he ran to his pod and started crying.
Out of relief, right?
Yes. The display on the pod showed Quark's vital signs. It was obvious he was alive the moment you looked at it. Next to the pod was Quark's bracelet. That was how Tenmyouji got it.
Why was Quark's bracelet off? Yeah, that was gonna be my question.
I took it off.
How?
Aluminum foil.
What? You mean the stuff from the crew quarters?
Oh, you found it? Did you know that aluminum foil has electromagnetic shielding properties?
What?
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint... Anyway, your fancy little brain...
So if you put that between you and the bracelet, you can just... It tricks the bracelet into thinking you're dead? What? Wait, so you're telling me the aluminum foil can block the electromagnetic waves your heart sends out?
Yes. All you have to do is wrap it around your bracelet.
And the bracelet thinks your heart is stopped?
Yes.
Holy shit. It was that easy all along?
Anyway, I used some aluminum foil to get Quark's bracelet off.
I'm actually surprised no one else tried that. But I guess maybe no one else found the aluminum
Then I
foil.
put it next to the pod.
Wait. Why was Quark in the pod to begin with?
Oh, that's easy. I put him there.
When did you do that?
Remember when we were first looking for Quark?
Uh-huh.
I found him unconscious near the entrance to the Golem Bay.
So you carried him to the treatment pod?
Yes.
Were you the one who unlocked the treatment center too?
No, I was not. I do not have the authority to operate any of this facility's machinery.
So it was Zero Jr.?
That's right.
He reactivated your body too, right? Man, I don't get any of this. Why the hell did he do that? I guess it wasn't really him that did it, huh? He was just doing what Zero Senior and the old lady told him to do. Everything leads back to them, huh? Of course it does. It just keeps showing around. Like, yeah, you're still in the bee garden. So, are you gonna tell me?
You what?
Isn't that obvious? They keep saying this line. Tell me what this project is. Everything that happens in here has something to do with it. So why were we brought here?
To play the Nonary game.
And why were we supposed to play the Nonary game?
That was part of the project.
Why did Alice kill herself?
Because she was infected with Radical 6.
How did she get infected?
Zero Senior and the old woman did that.
Why?
It was a necessary evil. It had to happen for the project to succeed.
What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide?
Clover wouldn't have suspected me, and she wouldn't have accidentally, killed me.
Then
I
what?
wouldn't have collapsed, and Dio wouldn't have found my body. That would have meant the confrontation in the infirmary never took place.
In other words, you're saying Clover and Tenmyouji died for this project?
Yes.
Well, actually it was the tubocurine that killed them. But they were only injected with it because of their bracelets, and they were only wearing those bracelets because of the Nonary game. If the Nonary game was part of the project, then that's one more way it killed them.
I guess. If you want to look at it that way.
Now, what about Kay and Dio? Why would they kill each other?
Because Dio killed the old woman. He was worried about getting caught, so he tried to kill Kay before he could find out the truth.
Then if Dio hadn't killed the old lady, what happened in the rec room would never have taken place, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Why did Dio kill her?
So that he could pose as one of the participants.
Yeah, I don't know why we're asking these obvious questions. And why did he do that?
Disrupt the project.
Then why did she let him kill
The
her?
same reason they did all of this. It was a necessary evil. The project couldn't be allowed to fail.
Can we stop asking all these questions just to go around what the project is and just talk about it? I don't think we're going to, but... Six people died here. 4 of them were murdered, one way or another, by Dio. At first that makes it look like Dio's the reason they all died, but that's not true, is it? All of them, all 6 of them, they all died for this project. That means that the murderer, or I guess I should say murderers, were the old lady and Zero Senior, right? Please, Luna, tell me. What is this project about? Who is the old woman? Who is Zero?
Sigma,
Oh, is this still playing?
would you hug me?
No. I'll hug you when you tell me what's going on. What? Instead of answering, Luna wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my chest. My own arms hovered in the air, confused about where they should go. I swallowed hard and tried to rein in my heartbeat, which had suddenly doubled. I was about to speak when I felt something warm on my chest. Was Luna crying?
This feels nice.
Bad. Safety. Star. Sorry. Her voice shook as she spoke. I lowered one hand to her head and began to gently stroke her hair. Hey, Luna? What the hell's going on?
I'm sorry. My ABT is usually held in place by muscle fiber. But after Clover gave me the tubocurine...
Okay. I get it.
Does it scare you?
No, I think you look cool.
This is what I really look like. I'm a golem. Just a machine. A jumble of metal and plastic that pretends to be real.
I wrapped my arms around Luna and hugged her as tight as I could.
You believed in me this whole time.
Yeah,
Even though I look like this?
of course. I trust you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I wish I could stay here forever. You feel so nice. But I think my time is up.
What?
I've done things I really shouldn't have. Do you remember what you asked me earlier? About if Zero Jr. had reactivated my body?
Yeah, I was gonna say which question. I asked you a lot of questions.
Remember? The truth is, he didn't. I did. I went to the part of the core that controls Zero Jr. and I hacked it.
What?
Yes, that was the first thing. The second. Do you know what the second one was? If I had really wanted to, I could have saved Clover and Tenmyouji. Then Kay and Dio probably wouldn't have killed each other. That's not all. I could have stopped Alice from killing herself, and I could have even saved the old woman at the very beginning. In other words, I had the ability to disobey my orders. But I didn't. That's the second thing. I broke the first law. I was scared. I was afraid to die. Obviously, hacking the core and taking control of Zero Jr.'s systems is very, very bad. Golems who don't follow orders can become dangerous, so we're terminated if we disobey. You lose access to your body, of course, but everything that's stored in the core, your memories, your consciousness, is deleted.
What? Wait, are you saying...
Yes. Very soon now I'll be gone. Zero Jr. is probably recovering himself right now. Once he's done, I doubt I'll be around much longer.
What? Why?
I watched 6 people die and did nothing. I deserve this.
No. No, you don't. Even if you had done something, you would have been killed anyway. You can't blame yourself. You did what you could. You're not wrong. This game is what's wrong. Forcing you to watch your friends die is what's wrong.
Oh, Sigma, thank you. I'm really glad I met you.
Luna, it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna let them do this. You're gonna be fine, I promise. Just please don't.
I'm sorry. My time's up. At least I get to die in your arms.
Luna.
Thank you, Sigma. And goodbye, Doctor.
Doctor? But she couldn't answer. I squeezed my eyes shut and held her, unable to bear the thought of letting any more of her slip away. With one last quiet chime, the music box wound down. I was left with nothing but silence and the cold pool of tears over my heart. Okay, I was like, is something gonna happen? What? Okay. Well, that was interesting. I like Luna. I think that I haven't, like, kept track of, like, where I place characters, like, tier-wise. But I think that Luna is actually one of my favorite characters in this one. I just think she's good. I don't know. She's just, like, sweet and also a robot, and that's really cool. I like that. Well, coming down to it, we're gonna have to go back next time and like do the betray route. I'm assuming it's gonna be like a really quick one, and then we'll be on this like final path here. Yeah, I don't know what was even talked about there. I mean, I guess I was wrong about Kay like leaving his suit and still being alive in this timeline or whatever. But I mean, that's okay. What else did they talk about? I don't think there's anything that was like particularly surprising. That just kind of like wrapped things up pretty smoothly. The only thing that they didn't specifically mention was what Kay did for that, like, I don't remember how long it was, but he was in the room for a long time, apparently trying to resuscitate Luna, before coming to get help, and I remember it seeming weird, and Luna never said that he was trying to do that. I don't know if they just missed that, or if that was on purpose, but I guess, we'll maybe find out Or maybe not. Yeah. So next time I think there's only gonna be like a couple more episodes left. We'll have this, and then we'll go here, and there'll maybe be like more. I don't know if this extends more or not, but we will see. Until next time. Goodbye.